Hi there, my name is Chris and welcome to The Better Life. In this video, I'm going to share with you the core principles of positive change, which I apply to my work with any of my clients, whether that's to do with health and fitness, whether that's in the capacity of a lifestyle coach and helping people to improve relationships, confidence, or perhaps take a new direction in their career. These core principles of positive change are a model, a framework, which you can apply to the setting of goals, to the achievement of goals, and the motivation that comes between that. Now, I'm sure you've all heard of many methods and frameworks about setting goals and achieving goals. In many ways, these core principles really break down to common sense. That being said, we so often start off a new journey very motivated, very intent on achieving our goals, and yet somewhere along the lines we let them fall by the wayside. We struggle with motivation and we see our plans, our vision fall apart. So let's get on with it. These core principles of positive change, you can apply them to everything in your life in which you're wanting to see improvement, in which you're wanting to live the better life. Okay, so the number one core principle of positive change is to be honest with yourself. Whatever we do, we must always be honest with ourselves, if to no one else. The reason I say that is because so often our initial motivation or our initial awareness that we want to change something comes from a moment of honesty. It's when our perspective is no longer skewed by the BS. On the whole, if somebody asks us, how is your life at the moment? We can be quite aware of the fact that it's not as good as we want it to be. We're not happy. We could feel more fulfilled. We could feel more satisfied. We could just be more joyful. However, so often when we actually look at the different elements of our lives, we explain away the failures. We explain away what we're not happy with. Now, this could be to do with looking in the mirror and dressing up for an occasion and seeing ourselves and feeling a sudden lack of confidence, lower self-esteem, just feeling dissatisfied with how we look against how we used to look, how we would like to look. Now, this is a moment where we have a glimmer of honesty with ourselves, but most often we kind of, huff, puff, we sigh, we think, oh, I'll do something about it one day. We explain it away as not that important. Now, I'm not here to tell you that you have to get slimmer. I'm not here to tell you what weight you should be. My goal is to make you realize how that makes you feel. Whatever condition you are in will be instigating feelings and a particular mindset in your life. And this can contribute to either your happiness or your unhappiness. Now, in the grand scale of our lives, there are many things that can contribute to our overall happiness, such as how we look, how fit we are, how our finances are panning out, whether we enjoy our careers, whether we're in a good or bad relationship. All of these factors can contribute to happiness or unhappiness. Now, we might be aware of that if somebody tells us, if somebody asks us, how is your life going at the moment? We might say, I'm just not as happy as I could be. I want to be happier. But so often when we look at ourselves in the mirror, when we look at our financial diaries, when we, have another relationship discussion, we tell ourselves that's as good as it can be. We explain it away. We don't really confront the fact that this element of our lives is causing unhappiness, unfulfillment, a lack of confidence, lower self-esteem. So it's when we look at those moments with absolute honesty, without explaining anything away, without justifying it, without huffing, puffing and sighing and deciding that we just have to leave it as it is. It's when we confront those with honesty that we can make a positive change. Now, I'm not saying go through your life and look at everything in a glass half empty type of fashion. What I am saying is that if you feel that you are not as fulfilled as you want to be in your life, if you are feeling like you could achieve more happiness and more fulfillment, then just take an honest look at the different elements of your life and just be real. Does it lead to a lack of confidence? It doesn't matter what your conditioning of your body is. It doesn't matter how much you earn. Money doesn't necessarily bring happiness. If you are happy in your relationship, if you're happy with how much you earn, if you are happy with your body, and that doesn't contribute to unhappiness, then that's absolutely fine. But if you are aware that there is unhappiness in your life, then be brave. Take a courageous moment. Be honest with yourself. Look in the mirror. Look at your diary. Look at your relationship. How does it make you feel day to day? What mentality does it inspire in you throughout your day-to-day life? It is these moments of honesty which help us to define that which we can change, that which we can take control over that which we can find more empowerment within. And once we identify those elements of our lives which contribute to unhappiness and unfulfillment and dissatisfaction, we can begin to progress. We define those goals, and that's when we can move on to the next step in achieving a better life for ourselves. Now, the second principle of positive change is to set achievable targets. Now, I know that I'm not blowing any theories out of the water here. This is rather common sense because we hear it so often that in order to achieve the greater goal, we need to set achievable targets along the way. Now, this applies again to health and fitness. It applies to managing our finances, especially if we're in debt and we have thousands to pay off. And, to deal with that in one fell swoop is perhaps unachievable. However, to set achievable targets towards that goal is a way for us to guarantee success. This also applies to turning your career around or perhaps establishing a new career. We can't suddenly just walk into a new industry and have all the qualifications and experience that we need in order to feel happier with what we do as a career. However, there are achievable targets along the way. Now, we know that in order to get to a destination that's 50 miles away, we have to take it step by step. We know that in order to consume a plate of food, we need to take it bite by bite. We understand the process by which we can achieve something that's a bit too big for us in one moment. And yet, so often, this is the very reason why we back off. This is the very reason why we don't progress, why we don't even try at all. But let me ask you, in 1 year's time, would you look back and think that it's a wasted journey to have achieved debt relief, to have achieved that body that you have always wanted to have? Would you look back in 1 year and feel that that year was wasted when you've begun a new career, one that's more fulfilling and brings you a greater degree of happiness and perhaps financial well-being? Setting achievable targets is perhaps one of the most important roles that I play in helping somebody achieve their goals. And it's not just about taking the journey step by step. It's also that every step along that journey is a cause for celebration. It increases confidence. It increases the belief, the self-belief that we have that we are capable of doing this. And it's also helping us to become motivated to just take the next step. We are that much closer to our goal, and this will spur us on. The third principle of positive change is to be accountable to somebody. Now, there are many ways that you can implement that into your setting of goals and your achievement of them. For example, again, as a personal trainer, my clients are accountable to me. I will help them set their achievable targets. I will check in on them that they are putting the work in. But having somebody that you are accountable to is not just about having someone that's going to crack the whip whilst you're on your journey. It's also about the mentality of knowing that people are relying on us to achieve our goals. For example, perhaps you have dependents who would be so much happier if you were able to work in a different industry, in a different career, bring more money into the house. Perhaps your dependents would be able to enjoy more time with you if you were healthier and fitter. Now, this very much ties into why we are wanting to set new goals. We understand the what and the how, but it's the why that keeps us motivated, and we so often find the reasons why we want to achieve a new goal to be rooted in the well-being of others in our lives. And it's important to acknowledge this, that so often the reason why we want to make so many positive changes in our own lives is for the benefit of others, for the benefit of our dependents, our partners, our loved ones. We want to be happier for their sake as well as for ours. So if it helps you to be accountable to other people in your lives in the sense that you want to achieve this partly for them and also partly for yourself, then this is a real motivation along your journey. But of course, it does help to have somebody who is looking for your achievements, who is looking to see that you are working towards them and will say and be honest enough to say, come on now, you said you were going to go to the gym. You said you were going to pull back on your expenses in order to beat the debt that you have hanging over your head in your life. You said you were going to go and get that new qualification, do that 3-day course so that you could make progress towards a new career. It really helps when we have somebody that can give us constructive criticism, who can crack the whip, who can check in on us. Now, there are many funny and amusing ways that you can become accountable to people, even if it's just putting an announcement on Facebook or on your favorite social media, and with regards to, say, health and fitness again, saying in 6 weeks, I'm going to post up my before and after pictures onto Facebook. I'm going to be topless. I'm going to share my stats with you. I'm going to show you my progress. Now, if you absolutely swear that you are going to fulfill that promise, you are then accountable to people. People are curious. People are looking forward to seeing how much you have worked towards your targets. You are going to feel that motivation. You have to do it. You're in 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks. Oh my God, tomorrow I'm posting my pictures. And this really serves to provide motivation. It becomes another why that will keep us going to the gym, fulfilling that course, doing our homework, not buying another Costa coffee because we're cutting back in order to, achieve a debt-free life. So the third principle of positive change is to set up a measure of accountability. And from that you will find support, congratulations, and motivation, and so much more. Now, the fourth principle of positive change for you to apply to achieving new things in your life and achieving a better life is to take a step forward. It's to take action. Now, that's kind of obvious, right? Okay, I understand that, but so often, we can be honest with ourselves. We have a moment where we look at ourselves and go, oh my God, that needs to change. We figure out how we're going to do this, and we set achievable targets that we want to meet in order to achieve our goal. We might even throw a Facebook status out there and say, I'm going to sort this out. I've had enough. This is all about self-development and personal improvement. And then we stop. We might go to the gym once or twice. We might go to a fitness class. We might have a look at courses, or we might get in touch with debt agencies. Perhaps we confront a negative relationship, and then we stop, we bail out. And the important thing to remember here is that it is a journey. Living the better life, making improvements in your life, achieving goals is a step-by-step journey, and it doesn't just require one step forward. Most of the goals that we want to achieve in our lives for greater happiness and greater fulfillment cannot be taken in just one step. And in terms of living by particular principles which will help you achieve your goals and your achievable targets within those, you need to take a step forward every day, every moment of every day. The next step we take is going to be towards our goals of greater happiness and greater sense of fulfillment, or it's not. It's going to be in a different direction. So this principle is the most important one. We gain vision, we gain motivation, we gain company and congratulations and support from the other three principles. But when we apply the principle to our lives, that we will be someone that steps forwards towards the achievement of our goals, that is when we can start to live the better life. That's when we immediately feel a greater sense of confidence, happiness, fulfillment, satisfaction, pride. Now, for whatever reason you are here, you are looking for positive change, you want to live a better life. And tell me if this is not true. The bad life is a step-by-step journey. The okay, moderate, yeah, I can get along with that life, it's a step-by-step journey. The good life is a step-by-step journey, and so is the better life. It really comes down to what step you are going to take 10 years from now, a week from now, today, now. What step will you take, and where do you want that step to take you? Okay, those are the core principles of positive change, which you can apply to any aspect of your life in which you're wanting to see improvements. Whether that, again, is your health and fitness, your finances, your relationships, your career. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's been useful to you. Please do like and share and comment below. Please do feel free to register on the site, thebetterlife.co.uk. It would be great to start a discussion with you on how we can begin to help you start living the better life. Again, my name is Chris, this is The Better Life, and I will speak to you soon.